Animal Farm, the context of the novel. Animal Farm is a famous novel and was written by George Orwell in 1945. Orwell once saw a boy walking with a horse and thought, if animals could talk, what would they say about humans? He also thought that humans have all the power and treat animals badly. If animals had power, what would they do? This gave Orwell the idea to write Animal Farm. Animal Farm is an interesting story. In the novel, the animals can talk. Animal Farm is a metaphor for Russia from 1917 to 1991. During this period, Russia was called the Soviet Union or the USSR. From 1917 to 1991, communism existed in Russia, the Soviet Union. This meant everyone is equal. There are no rich people and there are no poor people. However, there were many problems in the Soviet Union from 1917 to 1991. In 1917, the King of Russia was called Tsar Nicholas. Like Mr. Jones, he was not a good person. Tsar Nicholas did not care about the Russian people. They were very poor and he was very rich. Lenin is a very important historical figure. He told the Russian people they could have a good life and that they did not need Tsar Nicholas. Lenin had ideas that would change the lives of all the Russians. Lenin died in 1921. In Animal Farm, there is a wise old pig called Major. At the beginning of the novel, he tells the animals that they do not need Mr. Jones and that they can have a better life. Major dies at the beginning of the novel. Before 1917, many Russian people wanted to get rid of Tsar Nicholas. In Animal Farm, the animals wanted to get rid of Mr. Jones. Two very important people in Russia were Trotsky and Stalin. They planned to get rid of Tsar Nicholas. In Animal Farm, Napoleon and Snowball planned to get rid of Mr. Jones. Napoleon is Stalin, Snowball is Trotsky. Animal Farm, the context of the novel. In 1921, Russia changed its name to the Soviet Union. The animals changed the name of Manor Farm to Animal Farm. In Russia, communism was established. This meant there were no rich people and there were no poor people and everyone was treated equally. The communist government made sure everyone was happy. At the beginning of the novel, all the animals are happy and are treated equally. In the first few years of communism, everyone was happy in the Soviet Union. Boxer and Clover are two hard-working horses who represent the ordinary Russian people. They worked very hard but did not get many rewards. Like Molly, the pretty horse in Animal Farm, many Russian people tried to escape from the Soviet Union. a lot of countries wanted to destroy the Soviet Union. In the novel, humans attack Animal Farm twice. Trotsky and Stalin did not agree with each other. Russia was a very poor agricultural country. Trotsky wanted to industrialize Russia. He said it would make Russia rich. It was a good idea. Stalin stole his idea. In Animal Farm, Snowball wants to build a windmill. Napoleon steals his idea. The windmill was a metaphor for Soviet industrialization. In Animal Farm, Napoleon's dog chased Snowball away. In reality, Trotsky was exiled from the Soviet Union and was eventually murdered by the KGB. In the Soviet Union, most people began to live in fear of the KGB and Stalin. No one could complain. If they did, they went to prison or were brutally murdered. In Animal Farm, the animals never complain. They are too frightened to complain. In Animal Farm, the hens are killed by the dogs because Napoleon is angry. In Russia, when Stalin was in power, between 20 to 30 million innocent people were murdered. Communism had changed and was a terrible mistake. In 1941, Russia was attacked by Nazi Germany. Everyone thought that the Soviet Union would be defeated. However, the Soviet army defeated the Nazis. In Animal Farm, the Battle of the Windmill represents what happened to the Soviet Union during the Second World War. By 1945, Stalin was still president of the Soviet Union. He did not care about the Russian people. At the end of Animal Farm, the pigs do not care about the other animals. George Orwell wrote Animal Farm in 1945, and it was a very serious criticism of the Soviet Union.